Hello, I am Naru Narusagawa. I work at Nerv as a computer technician, and I will fill you in on your mission and what is expected of you today. As you know, the second impact basically destroyed Antarctica, which killed half the human population on the planet. Of course, the following events happened: tsunamis, climate change, nuclear war, economic distress, etc., etc., etc. I'm sure you're familiar with most of these catastrophes already, considering they happened over the last few years and that you probably lost most of your relatives and friends to it. What caused the second impact? Well, I'm sure that you've learned that at school like everyone else. Everyone knows it was caused by a meteorite, but don't worry too much about that. It's done. 2 billion people died. It's sad, but there's absolutely no need to dwell on the past and look for answers. There is absolutely nothing suspicious about it, and stuff happens, meteorites drop, and people die. I know it would be helpful to find some meaning in it, to be able to blame someone for it all, but really, there is nothing to do about it. It just happened. So, now that the typical post-apocalyptical setup has been presented, let's move on to the current situation. As you know, the temporary government of Japan gave up on restoring Tokyo, which has been completely blown up during the second impact. So we transferred the capital to Matsumoto City, which we call Tokyo 2. I know it's not very original, but we Japanese are very efficient and we are very practical, so it's just easier to call it Tokyo 2. Now, actually, as a matter of fact, truthfully, we are right now in Tokyo 3, which is located above the geofront, and where we are basically hoping, if everything goes well, finger crossed, that Tokyo 3 will replace Tokyo 2 at some point. But right now, the sole purpose of Tokyo 2, that is to stop the angels to murder us all. I am sure you are already familiar with what angels are, considering they have been destroying the world for some time now, but just in case, I remind you that angels are hostile supernatural entities, but we will dwell on the subject later on when we have a little bit more time. Now, as you know, Tokyo 3 is being currently attacked by the third angel, which means that our conventional weapons are absolutely ineffective, considering angels are supernatural beings. So I'm not going to bore you with technical details that only a computer technician such as myself would understand, but basically, angels project a force field called an AT field, which stands for Absolute Terror Field. I know it's scary, but yes, it takes the shape of an orange octagon, which protects the one who is generating it. And some angels do use it as a form of attack, but it's usually used for protection. Although it is invisible to the naked eye, it does become visible when it collides with other things. So it's not completely impossible to spot. And anyway, yes, the strength of an AT field basically depends on the strength of the angel or on the sinker level of the pilots. What pilot, you ask? Well, that is the very reason why we brought you in today. That's the thing, see, angels can use AT fields, but we can as well. Here, we created what we call the Evangelions. What's an Evangelion? Well, it's like a giant cyborg that we created to combat the angels. They do look like robots, but they are so much more than that. Do not tell me they're robots. I created them, and they're so much more than robots. They are living organic creatures which have machines and computer components crafted to them, and they have pilots who sit inside of them and control their every moves. Nonetheless, they are not only robots, they are actual cyborgs, and basically you are gonna be one of these pilots. Yes, you're going to be piloting one of these giant cyborgs and save humanity. I know, you're only 14 years old, you didn't even finish high school, you don't know what's going on, blah blah blah. Well, too bad, because it's been decided and you're going to have to sit in one of these bad boys and save the world. But don't worry, because I'm going to explain how it all works. As I previously said, you'll be able to create protective AT fields, but you'll also be able to erode the AT fields of the angels. And since you'll be like a giant cyborg, you'll have tremendous strength. You'll be able to fight like a real ninja, and throwing acrobatic drop kicks and all of that, if you know what I mean. Oh, and there is actually one tiny little thing that I should mention as a heads up, because I feel like it would be quite unfair to hide that fact from you. So the thing is, a pilot basically feels everything that the Evangelion is feeling, because you will be you will be synchronized with your Evangelion, if that makes sense. I know it doesn't make sense, but it's a mecha anime, so like you kind of have to believe in that sort of stuff if you want. So yes, let's say your Evangelion gets his legs chopped off. Well, you will actually feel like someone actually chop your legs off, like actually cut your legs off. And let's say your Evangelion gets disemboweled. Well, you will actually feel like someone is tearing off your limbs as well. So you will be in a lot of pain if your Evangelion gets injured. But the bright side is that you won't actually sustain these injuries, which means that you will feel them, but you won't suffer from them. So it's all in the brain, and your body won't actually be damaged in any way. Although there is a tiny chance of dying, but it is very unlikely. It's only if the Evangelion is really damaged, and then you would die from the physical pain, from the physical shock, but very unlikely once again. And we've been working on these prototypes for months, so you don't have anything to worry about. I'm very competent at my job, if you can't tell. I am. So you'll be connected to the Evangelion called Unit 01, and after we've run a few technical tests, you'll go and fight the third angel and save a soul. Easy, right? Hopefully we'll be done with the test by this afternoon, so if you could go and destroy the angel by 4 p.m, it would be great. Why does it have to be you? Well, it's not like we have all day to answer questions that don't really matter anyways, right? I mean, all you have to know is that you've been chosen and you need to save humanity. Why you? Well, I mean, who else could do the job? I mean, first, you're 14, so you're basically the same age as like most people who are going to watch this anime. And I mean, viewers need to be able to relate to the main character. Now, number 2, you have a tragic backstory. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, I believe that your mother died in front of you when you were young, correct? Yes. And your father abandoned you, which left you scarred for life, correct? See? And 3, you're likable. 4, your parents may have been deeply involved in our organization, like since the beginning. But anyway, I don't want to spoil anything, so I won't say much more about that. So many reasons that make you the perfect fit to be the main protagonist of an anime. I mean, to save humanity, or what's left of it. Needless to say, you'll be provided with a number of weapons and computerized targeting systems, radars, sonars, etc. And this is actually a little plus that we've added on since Unit 00, and that we are quite proud of. We have integrated a prog knife inside your left shoulder, and we are planning to add a spike launcher in the right one. I'm really excited about that. I mean, I'm the one who designs it all, who program it all. So yes, our Unit 00 is actually the prototype one. Yours, Unit 01, is called the test type. I know it sounds scary, but you have nothing to worry about. I mean, it's all fairly safe. Now, let's talk about how you're going to pilot this thing. So you're basically going to be sitting in what we call an entry plug. An entry plug. No, it's not sexual. I know the name can be misguiding, but it has nothing to do with sex. It's sort of a capsule which is inserted into the Evangelion spinal system, and you'll be able to control your Evangelion from that plug. So yes, and I should probably tell you more about the angels, but we don't have much more time left, so I'm gonna cover it very quickly. So the angels are the 15 children of Adam, and Adam is the first angel, and Adam was created by the first ancestral race billions of years ago, and that race is like an extraterrestrial species with an advanced technology who created a bunch of shit which is trying to destroy us now. So I'm not gonna dwell on the lore too much, but long story short, Adam's children, aka the angels, started to appear about 15 years after the second impact. And although we don't actually know for sure what they actually want, we believe they want to reclaim Earth by causing the third impact, which would kill us all. So we have to kill them so we don't get killed. So what we want you to do is to protect mankind by defeating the angels. So you just kill them all, no questions asked. It's gonna be pretty easy, so I'm gonna explain to you very quickly how it's all going to happen, so you have the main storyline. So the third angel appears. It's the strongest being in the universe. You'll be the main character, a likable, slightly insecure male character. And we'll introduce you to the other pilots, who are kids as well. Yes, everyone is 14 years old. I know, very believable. You all become the best of friends. Hopefully you'll even have a bit of a romance with the main female character, but that's up to you. I mean, that's your own choice. You guys will work together and defeat the third angel thanks to, I don't know, the power of friendship or whatever. And then a stronger being will show up, you'll defeat him together. Then a stronger being will show up, you'll defeat him together. Then a stronger being will show up, you'll defeat him together. Then a stronger being will show up, you'll defeat him together. Then a stronger being will show up, you'll defeat him together. Then a stronger being will show up, you'll defeat him together. And at some point, I mean, one of your friends might die, or like might almost die, or something along those lines, which is sad, but will probably unlock some hidden powers of yours, so you'll be able to kill the enemy. But then a stronger being will show up, blah blah blah, etc, etc, etc. And if all goes as planned, we should be able to save the Earth in about 24 episodes of roughly 20 minutes each, or 26 episodes if you consider the movie being the actual ending, but I'm not going to get into that fight. No. Thanks to you, it's going to be a fantastic anime. Not at all an allegory for the various and extreme ways people deal with depression. We clear? Good, amazing, fantastic. Sukoi, I guess we can move to the labs and do some tests then. Now it's time.